Spider-Man, Spider-Man, multiverse hopping Spider-Man. Hello everyone, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse has finally arrived. I still remember the day they announced Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse years and years ago. Wasn't really a movie I was excited about. I mean, I was much more invested with the live-action Spider-Man. Remember, context matters. Remember the times we were living back then with, the Tom Holland Spider-Man and the Avengers movies and all that. The future Spider-Man wasn't quite as certain, at least not when they announced the movie. Then obviously we got the Tom Holland Spider-Man, which was great, and I still love them. But then we got Into the Spider-Verse, which blew the doors off of everything. I still think there were some better animated superhero movies in that year. If you know me, you know exactly which one I'm referring to. But Into the Spider-Verse was still a grand love letter. I hesitate to call it a masterpiece of Spider-Man love to just the fans. And it was really great seeing one of the last few Stan Lee cameos in that movie. But Across the Spider-Verse, now it's Spider-Man Overload. I mean, we got a couple of Spider-Man in that other movie, some of which I don't even think were real Spider-Man. I mean, the old Spider-Man, I think, was an original character for that movie. But I mean, we got Spider-Man Noir, we got the Spider-Ham, we got several other Spider-Man people, obviously Spider-Gwen in that movie. But this just, I mean, looks to be, they're bringing practically every single Spider-Man into this movie, pretty much like the original Spider-Verse comics from a couple of years ago. I mean, just looking at this poster, I mean, I hope you can see it, but I mean, over there you can kind of see there's Spider-Punk. I mean, obviously, from the trailers, it kind of looks like Spider-Man 2099 might play a sort of villainous role. Pretty interested to see how that is going to happen. We got Scarlet Spider right here, Ben Reilly, even Bagman. You can't see it because of the lighting of the poster, but even Bagman is in this movie. I don't know how long he's gonna survive, but I mean, there's another Scarlet Spider variant. There's Spider-Man India, a samurai version. There's like Spider-Man, a werewolf Spider-Man. There's Spider-Monkey. You can't see it, but Spider-Monkey is on this poster. I don't know how long all these Spider-Man people are going to be in this movie, but it's definitely exciting. Definitely exciting to get the blood pumping. And as long as they do some justice to my boy, the original, in my opinion, the animated Spider-Man from the 90s. As long as even if it's a mention, I'll be happy. But yeah, so many Spider-Man. We're going to get to see more Spider-Man than ever before, and I'm all here for it. So I'll tell you what I think about the movie once I come out of it. So, flip! Across the Spider-Verse. So, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I'm just going to say it right here and now. It's better than the first Spider-Man animated featuring Miles Morales. Like, no joke, it's better than Into the Spider-Verse. Just wanted to get that out of the way first because there's a lot to talk about. And I'll also add by saying, so far it's my favorite movie of the year. And I'm not even joking. It is my favorite of the year. One of my favorite superhero movies of all time. One of my favorite Spider-Man movies of all time. This movie, I mentioned in the first half of this review how the first one was just a love letter to Spider-Man. This one trumps it. Like, the people making these movies know exactly what they're doing. They are fans of Spider-Man through and through. They know the character inside and outside, and you can really tell in the writing, and you can really see and feel the love that they have for this character, and it was just a joy to watch. This movie it never stops. It's like you're always on the edge of your seat. I mean, the theater hall I was in was packed. It's been a while since I've been in a packed movie theater hall, and just the excitement in the hall, I'm talking Avengers Infinity War levels. Even Avengers Endgame, there were these scenes akin to the portal scene in Endgame, where everyone gets up and cheers and clapping in applause to the greatness that they just witnessed on this big massive screen. And I consider myself lucky and happy and thankful that I got to be there and experience it. And yeah, this movie is great. I honestly saying more would just be adding fluff to this review. So that's exactly what I'm going to do to make it a bit longer, because you know what? It's my review and I can do whatever I want with it. This guy, Shamik Moore, back again, nails the character of Miles Morales and Spider-Man, and just, I mean, he's great. He's a great Spider-Man. He's a S-tier Spider-Man, and it's not just him, because we know he's great as Spider-Man. The writing, his character is just written so well. There's the natural progression you would expect from a superhero sequel. You know, he still doesn't have a complete handle on his powers, but he's better at it than he was in his previous movie. And you know, like I said, it's formulaic is not a bad word. I mean, the formula works. They know how to make Spider-Man movies, and they certainly know how to make sequels to it. And as for Gwen, where is she? Oh, you can't really quite see. There she is. We're gonna find a way to focus the lighting, but she's amazing. This almost feels like her movie too. It almost feels like this movie is co-owned by these two characters. Obviously, it's very clearly Miles Morales' movie, because that's his sequel, but it very much feels like it could just as well be a Gwen Stacy, Spider-Gwen movie. And it's great to see. She gets more to do in this movie, and I love it. I love it. The progression of her character, she's great. Haley Steinfeld still nails the character once again. They just nailed the casting perfectly. Speaking of perfect casting, where is he on the poster? There he is. The other Spider-Man from the previous movie. Jake Johnson. Yeah, nailed it. He's back, and he's exactly as you would expect him to be. He's great. He's still being that lovable goof like he was in the first movie, but he's very clearly Spider-Man. Do not be fooled by his comedic undertones. He's Spider-Man. Like, he gets the job done when he needs to. Just, you know, it's a little goofball in the meantime. Some other Spider-Man in this movie. I'm gonna have to take my face out of this. So yeah, you see it right there, Spider-Punk. Amazing. I love Spider-Punk in this movie. And, you know, I wasn't expecting him to have that as big of a role as he did in the movie. But after seeing it, give me more. I want more. I want a movie about all these Spider-Man. There were some Spider-Man I had no idea would be in this movie. So many Spider-Man I wasn't even expecting to see this much. Like, where is right over there? Spider-Man from India. Because yes, there is an India Spider-Man in there, and it's great. And you get to see some other Spider realms and Spider, you know, worlds. And what I love the best about it is they kept it from the previous movie, where every single realm, every single universe, every single Spider world has its own unique visual look to it. Like, you go to Spider-Gwen, obviously we get to spend some more time in other universes. Previous movie, we spent the majority of it in Miles Morales' universe, with hints and flashbacks to some universes with the other Spider people. Now you actually get to go to other Spider universes, and everyone feels different. There's a different art style, a different animation to it, different music, different aesthetics to it. It's great. I want to give me more Spider universes. I want to see Spider-Punk's universe. I want to see more Spider-Man universes. Obviously, with this grand, like, collection of Spider-Man. Ben Reilly, great character in this movie. Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew, or Jess Drew, I should say, great character. Spider-Man 2099, great as a villain. I said in the first half that he kind of looks like a villain. I'm gonna say it right here, and this could be considered a minor spoiler here. he was more the villain than the actual villain in the movie. And yes, there is an actual villain in the movie, a Spider-Man villain from the comics, a laughable joke villain that no one really cares about or knows about, and they actually made him a legitimate threat in this movie, and it was great to see. And I just love the dynamic between that character and Spider-Man. I'm not going to say who that character is just yet. I love the interactions between Miles and his dad. I love Gwen's interaction with her father, Captain Stacy, and just all the references to other Spider-Man media, from comics to even other movies. Even the live action movies get a mention in this movie, and it was a joy to see. Like I said, endgame level moments in an animated Spider-Man movie, and it was amazing. It was glorious to see. Now, if I were to say some negatives, here is that, like I said, 2099 sort of feels like he's more the villain than the actual villain, which it sort of goes into a thing that a lot of Spider-Man movies go through. Like I said, this is a love letter to Spider-Man, so it kind of has all the faults as well. Because the Spider-Man movies, since their inception, pretty much have always kind of had the same, with the exception, I suppose, of the first two, but they've always kind of had the same, shall we say, drawback, and that drawback is too many villains. Now, I wouldn't say that the too many villains hurts this movie, but it's kind of hard to focus on who the main threat is, because there's two major villains in this movie specifically that when you think one of them is the main villain, the other one really kind of takes his place, and it's sort of confusing in your head. But that's really the only major nitpick here. Other than that, there are several certain Spider-Man I was really hoping to see in this movie that didn't show up. They were a complete no-show. I'm not disappointed. I am slightly disappointed, but it didn't hurt the movie, because what we got was so good that I could do without the things that I really wanted to see in this movie. Like, the references to some Spider-Man stuff. Look, I'll show you some of the Spider-Man stuff here, but you can't really see it, so I'm going to go back to the poster. But yeah, so there's so many references to Spider-Man memes and iconic Spider-Man moments from the Spider-Man canon that gets thrown all up in your face here in so many different ways that it really it reminds you why you love this character so much, despite how many versions of it there are. And how, while each different version is unique, you still love them all the same way, because they are who they are, Spider-Man. And okay, so since we're at the end of this review, this is kind of where we get into spoiler territory. So if you don't want to be spoiled too much, just stop this review and you won't miss a thing. This is your last warning. Okay, so the ending. It does end a little bit abruptly, which could rub some people the wrong way. It could be seen as a brilliant chess move to some people. I personally really liked the way the movie ended. A lot of people who were sitting next to me in the theater did not, but it sort of has a end game to Infinity War backwards. Sorry, Infinity War 2 Endgame ending, where it sort of feels like it cuts out in the end, and there's another movie coming eventually, and that's really where the continuation of the story will happen. So again, this is the spoilery part, so if you skip this part, good, you don't want to be spoiled. But if you really do want to be spoiled, then this is really where I'm going to lay it on you. It ends on a cliffhanger, and I thought the cliffhanger was a genius move, getting you hyped up for the next one, whenever that is going to be. But really, the important takeaway here is that there is a next one. Definitely 100% there's going to be another movie, and it will come out when it comes out, but I'm excited. I'm excited for the next one. and maybe get to see some more Spider people that didn't really make an appearance in this movie, in that one. And yeah, so also there is no post-credit scene. Just wanted to point that out. There is no after-credit scene. There is a slight mid-credit stinger that reveals the title of the next Spider-Man movie, which you can look up online. You don't necessarily need to stick around in the movie theater to watch, but I just wanted to tell you this so you wouldn't feel disappointed or upset when you wait at the end of the credits and there is nothing, like a lot of other people who were sitting next to me were. There is no post-credit scene. Get that out of your lexicon. That's really the important takeaway I wanted to say here. And I'll just end on a final note that it really kind of warms my heart that I got to see this movie wearing this shirt right here. Look up at the sky. Yeah, it's a shirt made by Anne Rayner, the mother of my dear departed friend Ben Rayner, who sadly passed away about 6 months ago, who was really excited to see this movie and other movies coming out this year. Sadly, he never really got to do it, but me wearing this shirt right here to the movie theater, it's almost like I had him with me, like I had him, at least in spirit, watching this movie with me. And I'm ever thankful to the wonderful Anne Rayner, who made this t-shirt, who went out of her way to get this t-shirt delivered over to me, and to all my other friends from the multiverse of geekdom. There we go, multiverse again. And yeah, I will be wearing this shirt for every major blockbuster movie that I will be seeing from now on, which means I really have to get this thing through the washing machine every time I come back to the theater with it. But yeah, he was my Ben. He was my Uncle Ben in a way. He was my Ben Riley, whichever Ben you want to associate him with. He was my Ben Kenobi. He was my Super Ben. He was my friend, the late great Ben Rayner. May he rest in peace wherever he is right now in the multiverse of geekdom. So that was me on my emotional tangent for the end there. Thank you for watching. If you have, let me know what you think about this movie once you get to see it, and let me know how excited you are for the next installment in the Spider-Verse franchise. Goodbye for now. Twip! I got it right this time. Hi there! Thank you for watching the video. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends. I'll see you next time.